morning. I am Charity from MA Labs, and as part of our industry partner engagement, we are interviewing some of the guests we've had on our talks, and would like to start by having you introduce yourself, your company, your role, and then we start from there.
Yeah, okay, so my name is Christophe. I work at Accenture Labs in Dublin. So that's an R&D branch, part of this big thing that is Accenture. That's a big consulting company. Before that, I did a PhD in France on artificial arms spreading information. So it was computational intelligence. Just before that, I had done a master's on 3D streaming of 3D landscape on what was basic phone lines back in the days. And so I did that, then I moved to the Netherlands in 2007 to do a bunch of postdocs on knowledge representation and reasoning. And then brief stop at the UK at the BBC and then Labs. So that's for the story. And at Labs, I'm doing research on AI, generally specialized in knowledge representation and reasoning, but on different aspects and applied to different industry, which is one of the nice things is that we are very close to research in academia in many ways, and with a large portfolio of clients that have all kind of different issues. So we can find areas of interest from a research point of view, and then more or less easily find people that have a problem that could be relevant. So work on different things depending on what emerges as being interesting.
What do you say would have been your hardest thing starting out in AI or ML?
Maybe, yeah, maybe let's say maybe all the mathematical aspects of that, because I'm not a hardcore formula person. So I always kept more or less away from it somehow. So maybe that's the hardest thing for me. So I don't enjoy going deep into how a gradient descent is implemented and loss functions and so on.
Yeah.
I like to see how things work, but I don't get too much to that, which is maybe one of the reasons I'm really fond of things like genetic algorithms, where instead of finding the perfect formula to optimize, you just try to be lucky. And so there's a bit less math in a way. So maybe that's why.
Before you maybe started a career, you probably heard about ML or AI and you thought you would join it. So what is that innovation or artifact that attracted you to learn more about ML and to actually say, yeah, I can actually do this?
I don't think there's anything in particular. I started with computational intelligence. That has always been my favorite. So yeah, I was doing some training to be software an engineer. So I was in an engineering school, and then which has an affiliated research lab. I started to work with them a bit, did that masters, and then there was the course on computational intelligence. I thought it quite nice that we could get machines to learn how to behave by kind of mimicking nature in several aspects. Interestingly enough, I've never really believed in neural networks, which are now kind of becoming the synonym for machine learning. I always preferred things like swarm computing, evolutionary computing. These are my favorites. So I guess that aspect of mimicking something natural, taking it to work, and finding something that works on machine, that attracted me.
Yeah. In a case like yours, ML in a business setting, how do you manage your expectations when you're applying all these ML algorithms?
Yeah, so so I don't know if you could attend that talk I gave the other day. but if you start chatting with businesses, so I'm sure there's B2B every time it's one business chatting to another, and we chat with a business and we say, yeah, give us your data, because all the machine learning stuff is tons of data and a bit of math, and that's how the magic happens. So we say we need data, then we don't get the data, or we get some data and that's not enough, and so on. So you always have kind of this expectation that you will get all the data you can dream of to just run a big regression task on it, and then you get your thing, and then that doesn't work. Or you have requirements that change on the fly and these kind of things. So just be flexible and be open to discussion. And most of the time, I think also there's something about doing things simple. So when you are in the research line, you try to push boundaries, and that's the goal of research. But when you move to a business, I've been in pure academic for a long while, and when you move to business, a lot of people are not about pushing boundaries; they are just getting started. So you can often help a lot with just simple things, and not trying to have big breakthrough algorithms to really solve problems. So if you expect to have a super nice project to work on a business context, but you could directly translate into an HKI best paper, it's likely not the case. It's the simpler things, less exciting, but could deliver the best results quicker sometimes.
Yeah, that answers that. And one last one. What is the number one skill or competency that you would expect from a machine learning PhD graduate? Or what skills do you think they need to have?
I think these days that would be curiosity, I guess. Because the thing is that, so recently, machine learning has become a synonym of AI, and then deep learning became a synonym for machine learning. I think there's a big tunneling. So if I see a machine learning student doing one more PhD on deep learning and just being super tunnel focused on that, I think that's someone that would miss on opportunities, because that's still a broad field. If you look at the definition of AI, there's several fields under it, and then there's several domains we can work with. So if you focus on one thing only, you miss quite a bunch. And deep learning currently nails it, but it's not like it's bulletproof. So we saw plenty of things of deep learning not working fine. And now there's things like neurosymbolic reasoning that is becoming trendy again. People that say, yeah, maybe the KJ guys have some things right, and then the deep learning guys have something right, and maybe we need to work together again. So if you're tunnel vision on one technique only, you likely miss that. So I think it's being open, go to, read papers you would maybe not normally read, chat with people differently. I think that can help move along. So I would say that curiosity probably.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Those were 5 questions and very, 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 helpful. And I'm sure someone out there will get to hear them and be inspired to continue in the path. And, thank you for joining us. Yeah, thank you. Have a good day.
Thanks. You too. Bye.